Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Storm and I'm going to be your instructor for Business Office Specialist. This course is a 16-week course, so it's a semester course, 2 terms, and over the course of this course, you are going to learn how to use Microsoft Office applications. That includes Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint. And so the best part about this class is when you're done, you're going to take a test, and that test, if you pass it, will allow you to basically say, I'm an expert in Microsoft Office. You're going to get a certificate, and you can use that Microsoft Office certification on your resume when you're applying for jobs and things like that. So in this video, I just very quickly want to show you how to get access to the content for the course, how to go through and complete your assignments and make sure that they're turned in on time. And I want to make sure that you understand how Canvas and the other platform that we're going to use for this class work. So, first step is hopefully you're right here on the home page. You should have clicked this link to get to this video. So you should be right about here. This homepage is set up hopefully in a way that's not too confusing. Over here on the side, you have Home, Modules, and Grades. Home is this page we're on here. Modules will take you to all of the course content in a list order, in the order in which I want you to go through the content. Grades will show you your current grades for the class as of that moment. Okay. Over here, you have a to-do list. Now, this to-do list can be a bit tricky. It shows you assignments that you have that are coming up, that are going to be due. And it also shows assignments that you haven't turned in. Now, many students, their first instinct is to say, oh, okay, I haven't completed this disclosure quiz yet. Let's go ahead and click on disclosure quiz, and then let's go to the assignment. That's not the best way to do it. So use this just simply as a reference for what you still have left to do in the class, but don't click on any of these links because there's a better way to find the content. Okay. So down here, we have this link to this video, and then we have a link to click to join the Google Meet. If you are joining our class from online, you're not physically in the classroom, this is the link that you're going to click in order to join the meeting so that you can follow along with the class. Now, if you are working in another classroom or you're working at home and you need help with this content, you can also use this meeting so that you can meet with me and I can help walk you through any of the content that you're having difficulties with. Okay, so down here we have this menu. Now this is labeled as Term 3. This might also be Term 1 if you're watching this at the beginning of the school year. But these weeks are going to be the same. It's going to be week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Now the way this course is set up for the first term is you have each week, you have some assignments to complete and you have a block of instruction that you have to get through for each week. When we get to the final 2 weeks of the course, you have 2 weeks to work on the final project, which is, I will explain that when we get there. Now, in order to interact with the content for this course, the first thing you need to do is click on the first week that you haven't already completed. For example, if this is your first week of the course, you're going to click on this week 1 link right here for January 19th through 22nd. Again, the dates are probably going to be different depending on when you're watching this. Anywho, so you're going to click on that link and that will take you to a page that looks like this. Now this page is going to have a video which shows you exactly, that video is going to walk you through everything that we're doing for that week. You are going to have the what are you learning? Why are you learning this? And how will you prove that you've learned this? All of this is going to be listed for every week. So this will tell you what you're learning it. This will tell you why it's important for you to learn that information. And then this will show you or tell you how you're going to prove to me that you've learned that information and therefore are ready to move on to the next week. Okay. And then directly below that, we have what's called the order of operations. The order of operations is going to be listed 1, 2, 3, 4, or however many things I want you to do that week. And it's going to be links directly to the content that I want you to interact with for that week. So for example, for the first week of the course, you're doing the class orientation, you're learning the classroom rules and procedures, you're learning about this course, a little bit more about this course, and then you're going to take the disclosure quiz. All of this stuff is listed in the order that I want you to accomplish them. So the first thing I want you to do is go to class orientation, which will take you to this page, which is a video and a slideshow. Now, if you're seeing this screen here, this little option here, that means you have an authorized Google Drive on your Canvas account. All you have to do is click this authorize button, sign in with Google Drive, and then they will allow you to view items from Google Drive. You may have seen this in some of your other classes, so that's how you can fix that problem. And these slides are really just the same slides I use in the video to go through this content. Okay, now you may notice that at the bottom of every page, there is a link back to the home page for the week. If you click that, it'll take you back to this page. So even if you're 3 links in, you can still click, let's get to the bottom of the page here, click that link to get back to the bottom of the page. Now, there are next and previous buttons in most pages. My face is covering up the next button here, which you can use to get to the next thing of the next piece of content, but it's usually best just to use these links. Now, if you're on a week homepage, if you click this go back to course homepage, that will take you back to the homepage here where you can go on to the next week. All right, so you see how that's working for us. Now, let me see. Let me actually move my face to the other side over here. There we go. So you guys can see these links over here. All right, beautiful. So that is how you're going to navigate through the course. Once you're done with a week, you're going to move on to the next week and the next week and the next week until you're done with the content. Now, the way I run my course it's essentially a self-paced course. There are due dates for every assignment. So for example, let's look at this first week and let's go down here to this disclosure quiz. This quiz is due, as of the recording of this video, January 21st. Again, the due dates are going to be different depending on when you're watching this video. Let's say you don't get to it by January 21st. You turn it in January 23rd. You turn it in January, 30th, whenever, right? That's okay. I mean, it's not great, but you're not going to lose any points for turning in an assignment late, okay? I want people to be able to go through this content at their own speed, but it's best if you try to stay with my schedule because there's a lot for us to do here, and I don't want you to fall behind by a couple of weeks and then not have enough time to get caught up by the end of the term. Okay. Let's take a look at week 3. Week 3 is a special week for this course because this is the week that we start using a system called Test Out. Now, Test Out is a system that will allow us to do labs, read some articles, watch some videos, and then this is also the system that we're going to use to take our certification exam. Almost all of the content you're going to work on this term or this semester for this class is going to be in Test Out. The only exception to this is week 2 and week 1. Week 1 is a very simple quiz about the disclosure and classroom behavior. Week 2 is going to be an assignment where you show me that you know how to use Microsoft Office software. And that assignment is pretty self-explanatory. You'll see what I mean when you get to it. But for week 3, this is when we start using Test Out. So to that effect, I have an article here, how to use Test Out. Sorry, not an article, a video, which will walk you through how to use Test Out. I'm also going to walk you through it just a little bit here so that you can see exactly how it's supposed to be used. All right. And then I have a link here to watch all videos and read all the articles in Chapter 3 in Test Out. That is your work for the week. Now, if I click on that link, it will take me to this website here. This website is Test Out. This is the system that we are going to use to complete all of the work for our class, except for week 1 and week 2. Now, in order to use Test Out, you need to log in. I'm going to put in my login credentials here. Alrighty. And let's go ahead and log in. Now, if you don't know what your login credentials are for Test Out, don't freak out. I will, hold on a second. Let me move myself back over here. You will be receiving an email in the first couple of weeks of the class with your login credentials for Test Out. So keep an eye out for that. Now, when you log in, your screen will look exactly like this here, okay? You'll see that you are in BOS, Business Office Specialist, Semester 1, Utah Military Academy. And you will see that you have one product down here, My Products. Your one product that you have is called Test Out Office Pro. So if you click on that, that will take you to the Test Out course. Now, if we look at the assignment for Chapter 3 back here in Canvas, let's go to the assignment here. If we look at the assignment says to complete the following labs, and it's these 5 labs in Test Out, okay? 3.1.10, 3.2.4, 3.3.3, 3.4.4, 3.5.4. Okay, so these are called skills labs, all right? I am only grading the skills labs for this course. So if we come back over here to Test Out, you might be thinking, how do I get to those labs? Well, if we look up here at the top, we have this menu, this I don't know, this kind of like a notebook looking menu, right? If you click on it, this will bring up your course outline. We are going to ignore most of the content in this course. Now, it's really good to get through all of this stuff. It's really good to, learn online essentials and computer essentials. Chapters 1 and 2 are really, there's great content there. But it's not mandatory that you go through that content. We're going to start with Chapter 3. I'm going to assume that you already know how to use a computer and you already know how to use the internet to a certain degree of efficiency, right? So we're going to start with Chapter 3, which begins with features that are common in all Microsoft Office applications. So when I click on Chapter 3 here, I can see that I have a bunch of sub-chapters. I have 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. Now this is the content I want you to get through in 1 week, okay? 1 week. Now you might be thinking that looks like a lot of stuff. Remember, I'm only grading the skills labs, okay? Now these skills labs, the way they work is, let's get into one. Let's actually do one together. Okay, so this skills lab basically says we're going to use, we're just going to get comfortable with basic tasks in Microsoft Office. I'm going to click Start Lab. Now, one important thing to note, when you click Start Lab, sometimes it won't pop up exactly the way you're expecting. You might need to turn off your pop-up blocker. So if your labs aren't popping up, you might need to turn off your pop-up blocker. Okay, so for this lab, this says I have 9 tasks that are remaining. All right, let's take a look at this task. We'll do a couple of these together. So 1, create a new blank document. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to File, and I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to click Blank. Okay, then I want to close the document. Okay, File, and Close. Now, when you complete a task successfully, this box will pop up. Good job, task completed. You can say Continue to Next Task. All right, so and then you just complete all of the tasks in this list here, and then you're done with that lab. Now, that's only one of the labs that I want you to complete for that week. You also need to complete the other 4 labs. Now, you might be thinking, well, Mr. Storm, that's great, but I don't know how to do any of that stuff. How do I, real quick, when you're done with all the tasks in the lab, it's really important that you click Score Lab. That'll lock in your score for that set of tasks, okay? So I did the first thing correctly. I didn't do the rest of it correctly. All right, I'm going to click Done. So anyway, you might be thinking, all right, Mr. Storm, I don't know how to do that stuff. That's why I'm taking this class so I can learn. Well, what you want to do is if you get to a point in a lab where you're struggling, you're not quite sure how to complete the tasks, what you want to do is go back and start watching these videos. These videos are very helpful. They're very informative. So you can watch the video. They're usually about 2.5 minutes long, and they're pretty well produced, and they walk you through everything that you need to know in order to complete the lab successfully. So the best way to go through this course is to take a look at what you're completing for that week. Start watching the videos. Watch all the videos that you can, and complete as many of the labs as you can in the first day of the week, right? So if you're in an 8-day class, Monday when you come into class, you should be able to get through 2 or 3 subchapters on Monday. And then on the Wednesday, you do the rest and then make sure you have enough time to clean up anything that you haven't completed. And remember, the challenge labs are not required. Okay, so you don't have to do the challenge labs. Okay, so that's how to use Test Out. Now, when you're done with all of these labs, You need to come back into Canvas and go to the assignment here where it says Labs Chapter 3. And you're going to click Submit Assignment. All you have to do to turn in your work is type the word done, or I have completed all of the labs, or whatever, and then click Submit. Now that will turn in that assignment to me, and then I'll be able to grade it. What I can do is I'll go into Test Out, I'll pull your scores for those labs individually, and I'll put them into here, and you'll get a grade in Canvas. Super, super simple, super easy. And hopefully this video has cleared up any confusion you might have had about how to turn in your work and how this class works, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. Make sure you understand this stuff before you start working on the course, because it's really important that you know how to turn in your work and how to get through the course. Okay, this has been Mr. Storm, and I will see you for the rest of the semester. All right, peace.